R&B Money.
My first major record was Trick Daddy, Let's Go.
Okay, what's your first placement though? Hold on. What's your first placement though? I know it was a brown bag, like a paper bag. Somebody brought you. Somebody brought you like 1,500.
Is that a placement though?
It is a placement.
A placement in
if
your
somebody
pocket.
pay you money,
A placement in your pocket.
Exactly.
I had a lot of brown bags.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Street cats coming up. Like you would like if you from Miami, you would know these like the G shorties. They call it G shorties. Like they was like some gangster cats out of Miami.
Yeah.
And they was like really my first bag. You know what I'm saying? So and what's ironic about the G shorties, right? Like I didn't know how to produce rap music at all. They just loved my music that I was producing.
Because gangsters are musical.
Gangsters are musical.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah. So these cats, man, they was from 44th Street and 7th Avenue, and they were like, D, man, we want you to do our shit, man. I say, oh, man, I don't know about rap music, man. Like, nah, man, you'll figure it out. Then they was like, man, listen to that Suave House.
Yeah.
So I started listening to, you know what I'm saying?
Because that was musical, too. Suave House was musical.
Suave House was
they are
and they felt like my music was like that type. So I was like, who the Suave House was? So I started listening to that, man, and you know, that's how I kind of try to put in my music game.
What were you using to produce? What was your
I was
go-to
always
machine?
doing live shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Back then, we was on what, D88 machine?
D88s, yeah, D88s.
And the keyboard was the rolling, it was a DF7.
Was it XP or was it?
It was the rolling something. I can't remember what the.
So you didn't have no studio or nothing?
Nah, I was just going in different studios.
And you was just laying down track for track live.
Yeah, I didn't really have my own studio until like in the early '90s. And I built my own little studio. And I didn't have my own studio till then. You know what I mean? So it wasn't until like, and I was still like getting the brown paper bags. I wasn't getting no placements or nothing like that. I didn't know what that was.
Right.
I didn't know how to do it. I was making so much money doing street records and I didn't know I didn't know what the other was until, you know, I ran into Trick and Ted, the CEO of Slip and Slide, and started working with them.
That record was a smash. Let's Go is a smash. To this day, you can't go into an arena and not hear Let's Go.
Yeah. I was just always playing guitar. Guitar was my main instrument. So I would create all my music from the guitar. So I used to always love that Ozzy Osbourne. And so I just stopped, you know what I'm saying? So we in the studio, me and Jim Johnson, we in the studio, we just started vibing.
Hold on. You said me and Jim Johnson. So how do you and Jim Johnson get in the studio together?
Yeah.
Because
that's a legendary duo.
That's come on now. You can't just.
That's a legendary duo.
I'm gonna tell you the story with me and Jim, right? So Jim used to produce this group. At the time, it wasn't Pretty Ricky. It was called something Pretty Ricky and the Mavericks, and they were doing rap music. So Jim was producing their rap music. This was before Pleasure. Pleasure wasn't in the group.
It's all rappers at this point.
They all rappers.
Okay.
And so Jim was producing them or whatever. And so so I was doing my little R&B thing or whatever. So Baby Blue, came to me and said, man, we need some beats, man. Can you send us some beats or whatever? So I'm like, all right, man. Y'all rappers, so I don't know where I could send you, but I just send you some stuff or whatever. So Baby Blue heard the grind on me music. You know what I'm saying? And when he heard that, he called Pleasure or whatever. And when Pleasure heard it, Pleasure just started fucking with the vibe of it and putting the hook on it and that type of thing. And he wasn't even in the group.
Right.
Yeah.
He just came up with a hook when he Blue was going through different beats and Pleasure told him, play that one right there. And it was grind on me and that's really, so that's how me and Jim really started working together, because when Grind on Me was their single, Power 96 kind of blew it up on the radio or whatever. So when Craig Common came down to see the group, Pretty Ricky, he was like, well, let me hear some more music. So the other music was a lot of rap music because no one expected them to be an R&B group, and Pleasure P was going to be the lead singer. It wasn't. They didn't.
It wasn't
set up that way. It was set up for them to be a rap group.
Yeah.
So when Craig Common heard "Grind on Me," he was like, "Well, who did this? Who did this record or whatever?" And so they was like, "Man, Bigg D, he produced that or whatever." So man, Craig was like, "Well, that's who I want to meet. I want to meet Bigg D." So they flew me to New York, and me, Craig, Jim sat down, and Craig was like, "Listen, man, this their sound right here, Grind on Me. I need y'all to." He was talking to me and Jim to create this for their project, and that's what we did.
At this point, y'all not even a production team.
No.
Wow.
We're not even a production. Craig put me and Jim together.
That's great.
He put us together.
Shout out to Craig.
Yeah, shout out to Craig, the mad scientist.
What? The mad scientist.
Yeah. I respect him for it too. That's like he had that vision. He was able to see it and put it together, and then he said, I'm gonna send a writer. I'm gonna introduce y'all to this writer, whatever. So he sent Static Major, and me, Jim, and Static did Pretty Ricky album in 30 days. 30 days, we did the whole album. Just back to back to back. That whole Blue Star album. Grind on Me, Your Body, all of that. We did all that. And we just
Burn
did.
It up. Freaking classics, bro. Classics.
And the sauce was I would always come up with the melodies and everything. Jim was he had the beat. He had the 808 sounds.
Yeah.
So he had that bottom.
Yeah.
And I would come up with the melodies. So I had melodies for days because I had all this music in my head, and I always wanted to bring it out some kind of way anyway. So I would just come up with the melodies and whatever, and just how we created the songs.
That's crazy. It's funny when you say Jim Johnson, because it was like I would hear the name Jim Johnson.
And you meet him, and
I'd be like,
it's
this.
not the
I'd be like,
person
whoever
you
this
thought.
Jim Johnson is. I knew Bigg D. I seen Bigg D. I was like, but I don't know who Jim Johnson is. I was like, but Jim Johnson probably, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jim Johnson probably from them trenches, you know what I'm saying? He one of them niggas like, I ran into Jim Johnson's like, hey man, you white. You white. Hey, but when I say he had it,
cold-blooded.
Oh man, y'all two together.
He was like the king of the 808s down here in Miami. Yeah, that's what his thing was, them 808s, and here in Miami, that's that Miami bass.
He had it.
He had that.
Had it.
And that's how we put our thing together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So tell me this, you guys, I mean, major success now. Y'all on them charts now. It's something different. I mean, well, let me go back to Trick Daddy was was
massive.
That was massive.
Massive.
R&B Money.